Commander Xthor of the Galactic Confederation stood before the assembled delegates, his crystalline exoskeleton reflecting the harsh lights of the War Council chamber. "The humans have requested to demonstrate their military capabilities," he announced, his translator device converting his chittering language into standard galactic, specifically their stealth technology. A wave of amused clicks and whistles rippled through the chamber. The Cathari representative, a being of pure energy contained within a magnetic field, pulsed with what could only be interpreted as condescension. Stealth technology. The humans barely achieved faster-than-light travel 3 cycles ago. What could they possibly show us that we haven't perfected millennia before their ancestors crawled from the oceans? Zixther's mandibles clicked in agreement, but protocol demanded respect. Nevertheless, we shall observe. The test begins at dawn on their training planet, Terra 7. The next morning, 20 of the galaxy's finest military minds gathered on a tempered world that reminded many of pre-industrial Earth. Sergeant Jake Mitchell stood before them wearing nothing but standard-issue combat fatigues. No shimmer field generators, no quantum displacement devices, no photon-bending armor. "Gentlemen, ladies, and honored beings of various compositions," he began with an easy smile. "Today I'm going to show you something we humans have been doing for about, 50,000 years, give or take." The Vraxian observer, a towering reptilian creature with sensor arrays built into its skull, scoffed. 50,000 years, our stealth technology has existed for 12 million. "I'm sure it has, sir," Jake interrupted politely. "Real impressive stuff, but see, we took a different approach." He gestured to the forest behind him. "Your assignment is simple. I'm going to hide somewhere in that square kilometer of woodland. You've got every scanner, every sensor, every piece of detection equipment your civilizations have developed. You've got 1 hour to find me. I'll be unarmed, no technology, and I won't move from my spot once I'm hidden." The assembled aliens exchanged what could only be described as smug glances. The Cathari delegate practically radiated superiority. "This is beneath us. Our quantum scanners can detect a single molecule of foreign material from orbit. Then it should be easy," Jake said, still smiling. "Clock starts now." He jogged toward the tree line and disappeared into the foliage. 15 minutes later, the aliens deployed their equipment. Thermal scanners swept the forest. Quantum detection grids mapped every particle. Gravimetric sensors detected the displacement of air. Neural wave detectors searched for brain activity. The technology on display represented the pinnacle of millions of years of advancement across dozens of civilizations. "Got him," announced the Vraxian, pointing to a cluster of readings near a stream. A hover drone was dispatched. It found a family of local animals. 30 minutes passed. The aliens grew frustrated. Their equipment was functioning perfectly, too perfectly. It detected everything. Every insect, every bird, every rustle of leaves. But which signal was the human? "He must be using some kind of jamming technology," the Cathari insisted. "Humans are deceitful." Commander Zixther reviewed the scans personally. "Our sensors detected him entering at grid 724. He moved toward the center, and then the signature becomes unclear." 45 minutes. The delegates were now arguing among themselves. Some suggested the human had cheated, perhaps used a teleporter to leave the area entirely. Others insisted their technology was infallible and that the human must have died, though no body was detected. At the 1-hour mark, Jake's voice crackled over their communicators. "Time up, folks. I'm at coordinates Echo 5 next to the old oak tree with the split trunk. Come and get me." The entire group converged on the location, scanners blazing. They saw the oak tree. They saw the split trunk. They saw bushes, mud, rocks, and leaves. They did not see Jake Mitchell. "This is ridiculous," the Vraxian growled, its sensors sweeping the exact coordinates. "He's not here." "I'm right here, big guy," came Jake's voice from directly in front of them. Then he stood up. The aliens recoiled in shock. What they had assumed was a muddy boulder covered in plant matter was actually the human. His face was smeared with mud in irregular patterns that broke up its shape. Leaves and small branches were tucked into his clothing, and a crude net he'd woven from local vines. He had positioned himself in the shadow of the oak, his form pressed against the terrain in a way that made him part of the landscape rather than separate from it. "How?" the Cathari demanded. "Our scanners detected every heat signature, every—" "Yeah, about that," Jake said, brushing leaves from his shoulders. "Your scanners work great, maybe too great. See, you got so much data coming in, you couldn't figure out which blob of heat was me versus a sun-warmed rock. Which neural signature was mine versus the dear family bedded down 30 meters that way. He grinned. You were looking for technology for signatures that didn't belong, but I made myself belong. Commander Zixther approached slowly, studying the human with new appreciation. You altered your thermal signature by covering yourself in mud cooled by the stream. The ghillie suit, he gestured to the leaf-covered netting, breaks up your visual profile. But our quantum scanners detected. Me just fine, I bet, Jake interrupted. But they also detected 10,000 other things in that forest. You had perfect information and no way to sort through it all. Sometimes the problem isn't having enough data, it's having too much. The Vraxian was running calculations on a holographic display. The metabolic efficiency, you remained in a stress position for an hour while maintaining slowed breathing to reduce your thermal signature. And we accomplished this with mud and plants and about 50,000 years of practice, Jake added. Our ancestors hunted animals with better hearing, better smell, and better vision than them. We didn't have fancy tech, so we learned to become invisible using what we had. We became ambush predators, patient ones. His grin widened. And we got pretty damn good at it. Commander Zixther's mandibles clicked in a pattern that his translator couldn't quite render, something between respect and concern. I see. Tell me, Sergeant Mitchell, how many human soldiers know this technique? Every single one of us learns the basics, Jake replied. Some of us get really, really good at it. The Cathari delegate dimmed noticeably. You're saying your entire military can simply disappear using local materials without technology? Pretty much, Jake confirmed. Give us 6 hours prep time in any environment, and you'll never see us coming. The council chamber was silent for a long moment. Then Commander Zixther spoke, his voice carrying a new weight. The Galactic Confederation hereby withdraws its objection to humanity's application for Tier 3 military status. Jake nodded respectfully. Appreciated, Commander. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need a shower. This mud itches like hell. As the human walked away, the assembled aliens watched with newfound weariness. They had sensors that could detect a heartbeat from orbit, weapons that could glass planets, and shields that could withstand supernovas. But the humans could become invisible with mud and bushes. Perhaps Earth wasn't as primitive as they'd thought.